TV. We are live at Queen's Park, and we are at the Freedom Rally at Queen's Park. Welcome, welcome. I have my mic in because a song is being played right now. A lady is singing, and you know, the YouTube algorithm. So welcome, OpinionGuru TV Live. OpinionGuru TV Live. Wait, do something else, guys. Put your hands together for Tristan. It is not easy being a parent of a bunch of people with golden arms, trust me. As we were down while we were watching these guys try to figure that guitar boy, it's really tough with your one song and you're pretty much done with your fingers, I can tell you. So it's amazing to have these patriots that have some beautiful music ability, guys. These guys are always going to be singing the music of the angels for sure. Having said that, we got some different angels coming up here pretty soon, guys. We got an alternate punch up later and have a shotgun, but right now I have a message that's pretty important. We got nurses from Windsor. These guys have also been working. I'm gonna take out my mic. We got Ashley and Jamie came up here and tell us you know what's going on in some of the homes right here. Put your hands together already! We have a song to move to, guys. I'm gonna take out my mic.
I just wanted to say that I've been sitting here pretty much the whole time. I'm happy to see everybody here. I'm happy to see lots of faces. I just wanted to mention that actually one of my friends told me that
it has 100 or 200 or whatever, and then split them up
Thank you. Okay, so just a quick blip. One of my friends who's still actually deployed at the nursing home mentioned that, sorry, it hurts my heart to even say this out loud, but she mentioned that we send residents for blood work every time they have to go for any dental surgery or anything like that. And she noticed that the blood work came back a little bit. Who is still very awake and still employed at the nursing home, unfortunately. She mentioned that she said before the nurse could say, let me guess.
They don't have it in
and nobody gets it. The nurse kind of snapped her head around and was like, how did you know that already? My friend is, like I said, kind of woke to what's going on right now. So she mentioned that that's not unusual behavior. When they called the doctor said, yes, this is happening a little bit. Which made me a little nervous because nobody's blowing the whistle on this. As nobody told me the problem. Right? Yes, thank you. Definitely some sort of vaccine at this point. And HIV, which is weird because we look at their blood work often, so we know what's going on with these people because they're very close to us. But that made me a little uncomfortable, so I did hear that news. So I want everybody to know that is actually happening, whether they're telling you what's happening at the nursing homes or not. So if you have loved ones in the nursing home, please make sure you're calling and asking. You can get blood work done. You are allowed to know anything that is going on with your family members. So please, if you have anyone in the nursing home that's been vaccinated, please ask for blood work. Because this is kind of what's going on. We need to know so we're kind of a whistle on what's going on. So I just wanted to say thank you to everyone, and I'm going to hand it over to Jenny. Thank you. Nurse Andrew was very active. I was one of the first ones to step out in September 2020. Things were aligning. And there was a lot of bullying going on and harassment. So all the other public health officials followed after me. And I was there to support every single one of them when they had rallies, when they had convoys, when they had everything. I did it all. And my topic is more about boys and the abuse of power that I witnessed and experienced firsthand.
Okay, we got one there.
I'm getting down. I'm losing this. Just one minute.
I only left a bit of white. Another guy working for years. I don't know, but he is
Classy, welcome to the live. Classy ATL, welcome to the live.
For any bit, we will wait
I tried to. Oh, but this older lady.
It's a anti-mandate rally at Queen's Park Classic. It's a anti-mandate rally. We're at Queen's Park in Toronto, Canada. Wow, look at that Jamaican Canadian flag mixed. Let me see if I can do a close-up. Nice, right, Classy? Very nice.
walking dogs for the joggers. He was telling everything about this man is a beaut, a Canadian beaut. Austin is shot by
I just got here too. I just power walked to the Union Station.
Oh,
Get here quick. I guess. Well, with all these road closures, I don't want to drive. Because I don't want to be down here to do it drives me nuts too, right? So I jump on the train. I don't even pay them these days. Jump on. Oh my God. Oh, wow.
Metcalf, Sussex, Elgin, Slater, every street out there, guys. We gave the truckers everything they needed. We made sure that we stood with those truckers and gave them whatever they needed. And the experience was unbelievable. The stuff that I got to see from the people laughing, dancing, singing, coming together in the streets, and just showing that Canada can come together as one again through such a hard time. It was unbelievable to see, and I never felt that feeling in 2 years that I felt.
Tina Mac, welcome to the live. Tina Mac, welcome. We're at Queen's Park in Toronto.
And happiness, and the last 2 days of that convoy, day 22 and 23, when the cops showed up and they beat innocent people. I was one of those people on the front line. I got punched in the face, I got hit with batons, I got thrown in the cars, I got shot with tear gas, and it didn't stop me from standing toe to toe with those police in the front line. Was fighting for my nephews that are 2, 4, and 10 years old, and to all the parents out here that stood behind those truckers and fought for their kids too. That is the main reason why we were in Ottawa. And you know, I've seen so many elderly people get beat by the cops, get trampled by the cops, tear gas, getting shot in the crowd with kids in them, and it made me sick to see how cruel and how corrupt the government was, how cruel and corrupt the police force was, and the mainstream media. That is also another reason why I stayed out there to live stream 10 to 12 hours a day to get the truth out there that was really going on in the streets of Ottawa, because the mainstream media made us look like a bunch of racists and terrorists, and you guys know firsthand, whoever was in Ottawa, that is nothing but a lie. That is not the truth. And we did everything we could as individuals, like the streamers that were in the streets. We got a lot of them that are here today that were out in Ottawa putting in the work. I got frostbite on my toes. I walked those streets in the slush and the snow in running shoes for 10, 12 hours a day just to get the truth out there for all the people watching, guys. And it was unbelievable the amount of support that was shown to not only me but to all the truckers that held the line. They put so much on the line being out there. A lot of them lost their jobs. They were away from their families. They had their insurance pulled, their plates pulled, and they had nothing to lose. So when they were getting interviewed by all these mainstream media companies out there asking when they're going to go home and what they're going to do, they said they have nothing to go home to, so they're not leaving. They are staying there until mandates were lifted. And we did everything we could to hold that line for as long as we could, guys. And you know, a lot of people felt defeated when the Emergency Act came in place and the streets of Ottawa were cleared out. But I want you guys to know something right now. This isn't over. That was chapter 1. And in chapter 2, we know what the police force is going to bring to us. We know what the government's going to throw at us. And we are going to come back stronger. We are going to come back better. You guys really need to come back for chapter 2, because the feeling being you cannot feel through a live stream. You cannot feel through TV. You have to experience that firsthand, guys. So I love you guys with all my heart, and I want to give you guys a big truck yeah for me to you. And person I do have to give a shout out to, that's Kristen Nagel. She is an absolute beautiful human being.
front line right beside me when the police were pushing us and hitting us with batons. I made sure she was behind me at all times because I had to tell her about 1,000 times that, Kristen, you do not have to stand on this front line because you have kids at home you have to go home to. I'm 24, I don't have kids to go home to. Stay behind me, I will take the beats, and you make sure you get home safe to your kids. So I gotta give a huge shout out to her for all the hard work and all the dedication she did on those streets, guys. And can we get a big chalk in for Kristen? Thank you.
Thank you so much. Put your hands together, Austin! Oh man, you know I'm somebody who likes to yell freedom every once in a while, but once I listen to that kind of guy, it's about freedom! Amazing. No, I can tell you one thing, guys, and I'm not going to have to remind you of what you're seeing on social media here right now. But ever since the beginning of this, you have to realize one thing. As soon as the media starts talking about one thing, you got to go the absolute other direction, correct? Right. And Justin Trudeau lately, as soon as he flip-flopped on the whole Emergency Act, he just showed himself to the whole of Canada to be a flip-flopping weasel. And the thing is this, now, where's COVID? Now we're talking about a little war going on across the water, right? Nobody's paying attention. Guess why? Because now that they think the truckers are done, that's not the case. The truckers are reuniting, reunifying, and realigning themselves to the next level. Thank you so much. So listen, guys, I'm going to make it quick here. We got ourselves a really great lady here. She's from We Are the People TV show in the U.S. Put your hands together for Gita!
Toronto! Freedom! I'm glad to be here today from the U.S. and I have a special message from the United States. Welcome, freedom lovers, freedom fighters, and freedom seekers. We want to say that your friendly, freedom-loving neighbor down south is very impressed with your freedom truckers from Ottawa. To say we are impressed is an understatement. In sub-zero temperatures, you have shown the world that freedom has precedence over everything else. You have stood strong despite the authoritarianism. You have stood strong despite the force that's stronger against you. You have stood strong against dictatorships and communist agendas. You have shown the world what you are capable of, and don't ever stop because you will be rewarded. I stand here today to represent all of those individuals who don't have the courage to stand up for themselves. These are the people who believe in medical freedom, who have lost their jobs and lost their lives. They cannot speak up because the government has silenced them. No more. I want to tell every Canadian that you will win this fight. In the U.S., your truckers have become rock stars. You have our undivided attention, unconditional support, and unwavering agreement. We stand with you in the universal fight for freedom. The freedom of peaceful assembly, medical freedom, and freedom of choice. This is about freedom. If someone does not want to put a foreign substance in their body whose long-term effects cannot be known from a pharmaceutical company who has public immunity, that is their choice, not the government's choice. You make that choice. Toronto, take a good look at your neighbor right now. You and your neighbor must join hands together in this journey to take back your freedom. This requires solidarity and harmony towards the same evil. And this will benefit the entire society for generations to come. You are breaking generational curses. We will not be silent. To the Ottawa Freedom Fighters, you will forever be revered as the freedom fighters of Canada in a dangerous time. God bless you. You are especially important to me because although I have spent most of my life in the United States, where I grew up as a freedom-loving Republican, physically born in Canada, and I have the right to vote here. And now, a message for Justin Trudeau. Your perspective towards democracy has become questionable at best, and your mismanagement of your freedom truckers in Ottawa is disturbing to the Western free world.
Okay, technical difficulties. Let's check. Okay.
T-Son, welcome to the live. T-Son, welcome to the live. We are at Queen's Park and we are at the Freedom Rally. T-Son, welcome to the live.
It is your duty as you swore an oath to represent the entire Canadian population, including and especially those that don't agree with you. I pray that God will lead you down the correct path for your redemption and for the restoration of Canada. I pray for healing in your government and in the land. I also pray that if you are not able to find the correct path, that you honorably step down and let another fill your role. In closing, I want to assure you, Canada, that you have the full support of your American freedom-loving counterparts. We stand shoulder to shoulder with you in this quest until the very end. We believe in medical freedom, freedom of speech, and personal liberties. As Thomas Jefferson wrote in the American Constitution, every man has the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. We are free because God says we are free, and whom the Son sets free is free indeed. Thank you, Ottawa, thank you, Toronto, and thank you all Canadians who stand tall with us today. We are victorious, so don't ever quit. Victory belongs to those who believe it the most, and finally, to quote Benjamin Franklin, the founder of the American Revolutionary War, and signer of the American Declaration of Independence. Freedom is not a gift bestowed upon us by other men, but rather it is a right that belongs to us by the laws of God and nature. I leave you with one of my favorite scriptures, and it reads from Isaiah chapter 7, verse 9. Stand firm in your faith, for if you do not stand firm in your faith, you will not stand at all. God bless you, Canada, from the United States of America.
Let's see about this feedback a little bit. Here you go, Jen. All right. We got a lot of people. Next, I want to introduce Ryan from Take Action Canada. I've been encouraging him to speak. He's a very intelligent guy. So please put your hands together for Ryan. Okay. Walking around for truckers to get give them cash, coins, give them gold pieces, Bitcoin, whatever you can. Okay? I promise to only take 4 minutes of your time. So just give me your attention for 4 minutes. It won't be long. Don't have a lot. I'll put the volunteers for Take Action Canada. There's some other volunteers walking around. Please consider joining. I want to thank Danny for introducing me and inviting me to speak today. I've known Danny for a while. He's truly a man of the people and quite the opposite of our current mayor, John Tory, the bastard. John Tory's been integral to part of our lengthy imprisonment for the last 2 years. So So Dougie and Johnny have sealed off this whole area to trucks and truckers. So let's give them a great big message. Honk, honk. There's always one in every crowd. Okay, so Take Action Canada have been working tirelessly for our freedoms for some time. We started with lockdowns to break the pattern of our daily lives, all in the name of health and safety. But it was never, ever, ever about your health, all about your safety. Then came masks. Masks, they're bullshit. Masks are another step in creating fear. There's 220 studies that will show you that masks are useless. They're littered everywhere. Pick up your masks off the ground and send them to the government, send them to Trudeau. It's free. It's
So vaccines. Why do they give us vaccines? Because they're suppressed, cheap, and useful therapies. But we all know, you know, vaccines are not safe. They're not effective. But still, it's never been about your health. The Trudeau government has purchased 11 doses for every person in the country. Now, so the double jab are not going to take anymore. Does that make them anti-booster? 11 vaccines for every person. Still with that. Canada has now gone from last in the world in freedom to first in the world.
T-Son, one sec, T-Son.
Are raising Canadian flags as a symbol of freedom. And we should be proud.
So here's a news flash. It was always about compliance, control, coercion, and power. And now you know it. But it's not about knowing it, it's about feeling it. So first we wake up, and then we stand up. But we're not finished yet. Justin Trudeau and his provincial lapdogs like Doug Fraud have been working overtime to help you wake up. We should be thanking them, because without them, so few people would have come to the party. Replacing them is not an option. Every politician in power and in oppression has been working day and night to rob you of your freedoms through their inaction or action, and they have to be all replaced. They have to go. We can't just replace one tyrant with another tyrant. So once again, no old normal, no new normal. They're not options. Vaccine hesitancy has turned into vaccine compliance and is now shifted into vaccine regret. How many of you know someone that's been injured? How many of you know someone that's been hurt? How many of you know someone that's died from getting a vaccine? But it's easy to dismiss all the people that are taking them as idiots or sheep. But a friend of mine said, it's not about your intelligence. Intelligence is never...
Yes, classy. Lots of issues. Lots of issues. Lots of issues. Lots of issues. Welcome to the live. Welcome, welcome. Opinion Guru TV, welcome.
To separate you from your family and your friends, your freedoms and your money. But they can't take away your spirit because we're all starting to get worried. We are the many, they are the few. Get involved. Thanks again. Freedom.
Alright, this next speaker, I am sure you all recognize him as well. He may or may not be running for mayor of Toronto. He's an entrepreneur, he's a fellow freedom fighter, and he's just all around a very sweet man. He calls it like it is. Everybody, if you guys recognize this lovely man, Danny DeSantis.
There's a lot of people here. A lot of people. So, I tell you, I was in Ottawa and I saw a beautiful thing. Canadians, the most patriotic Canadians holding the line was the most beautiful thing I've seen. I've never seen so many Canadian flags ever, to be quite frank with you. It was a beautiful thing, and we saw, you know, I got the soft thing for the ladies. They were holding that line. They were getting pepper sprayed. They were getting beaten. It's a big problem, because if a guy like me decides to run, and a guy like me gets elected, I'm going to tell you, there's going to be a lot of people that are going to be accountable for what we've seen in Ottawa. It's, that was tough. We saw a lot of lives, right? You know, the media's been doing a disservice. I want to talk about these vaccine passports. You know, the passports and mandates were never based on science. They don't prevent transmission, and no one is putting others at risk. While passports and mandates are ending everywhere, Canada's rule of law is undersold by politicians right in front of our face right now. We're watching it. Doug Ford and Justin Trudeau both declared a state of emergency, also obtaining a court order freezing the truck convoy donations. You believe it? You believe it? People donated all across this country, and we have politicians that want to stop these donations. By the way, we have gas cans going around, and we're collecting some funds because we still have, we're right there, you got some people with the gas. If you have $2, $3, $5, they need some funds, the truckers, to get back to where they gotta go. That's unbelievable how they actually froze people's accounts. Where are we going in this country? So, I'll say a couple things. I urge people, and I wrote a long speech, but I'm gonna cut this speech. I like doing this a lot. Because I'm gonna encourage people to do something. And I'm not a fan of any politician right about now. 95% of the politicians, I've lost faith right now. They are self-serving politicians and done absolutely nothing but knock on your door and sell yourself promises. So we need people right here.
Sheriff, welcome to the live. Sheriff, welcome to the live.
Came from Italy, Italian, and they came here for freedom of speech. Holy moly, I'm feeling something right now. I don't tear up, guys, but oh my God, I don't tear up. My parents came here because of freedom of speech, freedom of movement, freedom of assembly, and it's been trampled by these politicians. I promise you this. I promise you this. If I run and I do get elected, I'll still be standing right here with the people. I align myself with the people. The people
touched. You know, we politicians can't walk the streets. We can't walk the streets. John Tory can't walk the streets. Man, Justin Trudeau, woo, he can't walk the streets. Doug Ford went into disappointment. So I encourage people, even on a bottom level, school board trustees, we're the moms that have been fighting all across this country for their kids. It's time to step up even further and run for school board trustees so we can say no to mandates. We can do it that way. Counselors, mayors, all across this country. And let me tell you something. In Ottawa, don't make a mistake about it. The person that could have stopped everything is the mayor of Ottawa. He could have said, he could have been truthful and said, these were peaceful protesters, but he decided to lie. We understand the World Economic Forum. We get it. But I'm going to tell you, it's the voice of the people that we saw in Ottawa. Millions of patriotic people. So the politicians, they have a hard time. So I encourage people, and Daniela introduced me, and I encouraged her as well. I said, you care so much. Run. Run. We got to run and put our name. Because we have the people. I speak for the people, and the people expect me to be truthful. And that's what it's about. You see, I don't need to put a suit and tie. You just got to talk the truth. And people love it, right? So we all know, enough talking about this, we all know that there's a beautiful governor down south fighting for freedom still today. He's actually called out Justin Trudeau the other day. And I'm going to tell you something because I feel it every single day. I feel it every single day. The encouragement that I'm getting. Because you got to be tough boy to deal over there. Maybe there's going to be a DeSantis in the north. And if there is a DeSantis in the north, every single politician, I'm going to call him out. We're going to call him out. So I hope I have your support. And I always say this. The only way we're going to do this, because the mainstream media is not going to do it. We've seen it. I need you to tell people when you're having dinner, when your family, your friends, you tell them that there's a DeSantis right here, ready to fight. I'm going to do everything I can. Now I'm an entrepreneur. I started everything from nothing. I didn't even think I'd even have that desire. Anything is possible. And the little kids, if there are other little kids out there, when everything goes for an answer. You know, when I was a little guy, I was always getting discouraged by everybody. They're like, are you crazy? You're going to do this? You're going to invest there? If you don't give it a shot, you'll never know. So I might give it a shot, and we can do this. We can take back this city, because this city's on its knees, and we can do it, and we can win. I love you all. I'm Danny DeSantis. Thank you very much. So, I want to introduce somebody, and I encourage them also to speak. I want to speak. This guy's been DJing and coming out. And by the way, what's up? By the way, racism? Really? I'm gonna tell you guys something. The politicians are gonna get crucified because this movement is not about racism. It's not about misogynists and the fringe. I don't even know what the hell they're talking about. But let me introduce you to Amari. I love this guy. He's all heart. Amari. DJ Amari. Yes. Alright, I'm going to make this show in three. Amari Taylor, or DJ Amari Taylor, whatever you want to call me. Okay? Now, I know everything is, it's been pretty busy the last couple of months with the convoy and everything, but I just want to let you know that this really didn't just start in January with the convoy. It started at Queen's Park on the south side in 2020. Nobody hit him. It started with the Montego, myself, Hunter, Knockers, Black, the line. We all stepped up at the beginning, and we did a rally, and we kept coming up, and
intention of DJing at Queen's Park. I didn't come to the protest to look for an opportunity to play my beats or anything like that. I just came to fight for our freedoms. Right? But when the government said that there's going to be no dancing, no singing, I was like, that's not going to happen. So we ended up doing the dance parties, like the back in those yesterday at Queen's Park back in 2020. And let me tell you, all the stuff that you guys experienced in Ottawa, it happened in Toronto. There's a New York blackout. So you guys are new here, welcome to the party. Okay? But we had a beatdown, got Yellington Square, we have a cops, public order, we have the beatdowns here. They all happened last year and the year before. Right? So remember, the movement has been building up to a mental point. It started back in 2020. So please, give them guys, let me read them. People may hate me, people may hate me a lot. God or Dimension was all about unity and coming together. Okay, so again, I consider all these people my family. LeBron, Vlad, Hudson, and Matt, right? Leaders, group movement, we butt our heads, but we come out and constantly coming here on Saturdays to lead the freedom movement. All right, so welcome. If you're new here, welcome. And thank you for being here. We're going to do it every Saturday. Okay, if you come, we're going to have public speaking for anyone who wants to come up and speak between 11 and 12. And then we have our speakers, okay? And then we have a march. And we're running over behind. So we need the march to commence at 2 o'clock. Okay, and then when we come back from the march, we have a dance party and stuff, and then you guys enjoy yourselves and we'll go over there, okay? But thank you for being here. Man, I'll tell you one thing, like Amari said, a lot of us have been doing this since the beginning, and it's really friggin' tough. If you know me, it's really tough to be up here sometimes and talk about what we're doing. But I'm going to make it really quick for you because there's some really great people that are here, especially the trucker energy needs to be out here to let the people know what's going on. Exactly. I'm going to make it really fast, guys. My name is Lamont Dago. I'm the president of Wine Canada. That symbol that you see here, I'm going to make sure I say this because everybody asks me all the time what that symbol means. It's an O for oppression. The government's crossed the line and we draw the line. Are you guys with us? Right on. And so listen, guys, we don't ask for money. We don't put our...
Hello. Hello. I think that's Travel Fund 69 right there. His back is turned to us. But I think that's Travel Fund 69 right there. That's Travel Fund 69 right there. Travel Fund 69. Travel Fund 69. Good to see you. I'm live. OpinionGuru TV. Yeah. Good to see you. Yeah. And I watched you in Ottawa. I was there one day. Yeah. Good to see you. Yeah. All right, bro. yeah. So that's Travel Fund 69 in Toronto.
That really hit me the most. The reason, everyone's got their own story for that around here. For me, myself, my family, our story is we're here for these ones. This is my little guy right here. Yeah. This little guy is why we're here. He goes to school every day, and they force him to wear a mask. How long before they force him to get vaccinated? That's unacceptable. You shouldn't be forced to get a jab. I lost my job because I was refusing to get the jab. But you know what? That's fine. It's okay. Because I'll be here with everybody here. Every weekend. Every day we're out here. I will be here. Honestly, I don't get emotional. Just like Daniel, I don't tear up, I don't get emotional, but nothing hits harder than seeing everybody here together for one thing. Now, can you do something for me? Can everyone put their fists in the air? Let me see those fists. And scream from the top of your lungs, freedom! Freedom! Alright, so I'm going to pass it off to a journalist on the ground here. His name is Daniel. He's a National Telegraph. He's on the ground in Ottawa. He's going to say a few things for you people. Give a hand.
Thanks guys for letting me talk here. I know technically we're not supposed to take sides and blah 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 objectivity, but let's be honest, you can't be neutral when it comes to does the Charter of Rights and Freedoms apply to all Canadians. It just does. We have the freedom of movement, we have freedom of assembly, we have freedom of speech, and by God, I'll die on that hill any day. It was an absolute honor to be on the ground in Ottawa, to cover that thing, to get some live streaming out. And trust me, I've been fighting those idiots for the last 7 years. It is a fight worth taking. But what they've tried to do, even before COVID, is destroy us, beat us down, and pump you with propaganda. They bought the mainstream media, $600 million, another $60 million. Then they started to attack Rebel News and True North with lawsuits and bullshit like that. But there's one thing they cannot stop. They cannot regulate you guys. I want to say a big thank you to everyone with the phone now, because those people they cannot control. You, all of you, taking it on your phone and getting the truth out there. You might have 2 people watching, you might have 2,000 people watching, but that's the only way those people will be able to see what actually happened here today, what actually happened in Ottawa. If Ottawa really was some sort of domestic terrorist event, there was 80,000 hours of live streams, the entire thing. You'd think a clip of one of those events would have gone viral by now. But it didn't, because it was peaceful. Okay? And now the new thing is they will try and bury us, and they'll try and say, oh, how dare you think you need freedom because Ukraine's being bombed by Russia. That's the new line. And yes, we might not be under an artillery barrage from Vladimir Putin right now, but the reason why we're on the streets today is because what Justin Trudeau is doing is the road to where Russia is right now. We stand here today, so don't end up like Ukraine tomorrow. All the experts on the media that will try and tell you, listen, I see what's happening to Ukrainians. The president grabbing a rifle, the people in the streets defending their own freedom. But they say, oh, those are real freedom fighters. Well, newsflash for you guys, if those Ukrainians were in Canada, I think they'd be honking. I think they'd be doing a little honking. 40% of Ukraine is vaccinated, 2% boosted. I think we'll take those refugees. I think they'd be on our side. How many people from the former Soviet bloc are here right now? Yeah, lots of people that, yeah, we support freedom, fight for freedom. That's what we're doing here.
Okay. Listen, we're here not to heckle us. We're here to heckle the government. Okay? I used to do comedy. I used to be a stand-up comedian before they banned jokes. And now we have to heckle Fat Trudeau. His name is Fat Trudeau. That's all he is. Okay? Now, I'm going to say something that might be controversial for a second. We all here, and we were there in Ottawa, and we held the line. And I saw the last stand on Wellington and Big, and it was goddamn heroic. But the time to hold the line is a
Welcome, welcome.
bank run. This is the pressure point. It's what they're scared of. They crossed the Rubicon. They messed up. They crossed the line. And this is what we put up. So I said maybe next week we march to Main Street. We go to TD headquarters. Now we take the fight there.
For no good reason.
The media will not keep doing Wall Street going forever.
Yes, we have done an hour, and I'm gonna go now. Thanks for watching. Thanks for watching. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you in the next one. Thanks for watching.